We're live.
Welcome to an episode of the Sports Genes Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
Sound the alarm. That's right. The BCMG guarantee hit last week. That is correct. Here are the alarms. Your pockets are full this week for week 15. I am your host, Ernest Silva, Doc E for some, the Sport Gene for others. And yes, still in third place in the wonderful chase for the ring. 130 wins, 77 losses, and 1 tie. Guys, I'm shooting a good 67% here. I am excited where I'm at. Andrew Constant, another big week. I go 12-2 last week and still end up tied for first. Coach Peanut with the guarantee. There you go. Streamer of the week right there. Coach Peanut, first comment. Guys, I'm excited. I'm obviously merry and bright here on ITL. Speak of the devil, we have our guest, but let's start off with my co-host. That's right. You named him the general. That's right. Steve Reisner. What's up, buddy?
Oh, what's up? I took a couple weeks off in a row, and then I figured I can't be taking off all this time when this Patriots game's to talk about. I'm like, we're going to go beat the Colts. It's going to be a great time. So, yeah, I had to make an appearance.
I absolutely love having you back. The back and forth between Patriots and Cowboys talk has not been enough in recent weeks, and you're fresh for the eyes today. He came in. He's riding tough. But that's right. My third place partner. That's right, Andrew Consutton. What's going on, brother?
What's shaking, y'all? You know I had to come on here because I got to brag because it's so fishy to me that Steve's all of a sudden back on ITL. And he just dropped off the face of the earth in the standings. No big deal. Remember that third place title that you had, Steve? Looks good around Ernest and I's waist right now. Yeah, you bet.
Wow. He comes in guns a-blazing. Steve doesn't even know where the hostility's coming from. We're starting off shooting from the hip here. I absolutely love today's episode.
I wasn't on here. I set my picks in.
There is a third place flex, and Kenny Cotterill wants to make sure we know that bragging about third place is absolutely shameful that we're doing. That's right. Kenny is still in the hunt there. If I'm not mistaken, Kenny is in first again by himself. Dre's the game back. But shout out to you, Kenny. And I do see it, Coach Peanut. I know the Rockets are down by 37. We're just not talking NBA today, so stop yourself, and we'll start that right now. 8-2 in the last 10, though. Guys, today's episode is all about your fantasy football hopes. Round 1. Send in those questions. Send in those fantasy football lineups. We're here to answer.
Wait. You guys aren't on a bye week?
Yeah, okay. Brag as much as you want. Yeah, Steve Reisner's the mobile infantry has a first round bye. Take it easy. He made the playoffs. Congratulations. Send in those fantasy questions. God knows Londo's 60-point loss to me last week probably stings. A producer Londo in the house today. He's probably not too proud about that one. It's okay, bud. You made the playoffs. We'll probably play again. But very excited to have you on. All right. If you haven't heard the news, BCMG has a stream team. It's a wonderful stream team. It's a very great stream team. I absolutely adore them. And we're having a brand new Better Together campaign in 2022. Guys, if you haven't seen that clip, Londo, let's roll it and show the guys what you're missing with the BCMG stream team.
There's a guy right here. Did not get scared at all.
Nice.
Oh! Yo! Clip that! Clip that headshot! No! No fucking way! Let's go! Yo, that guy in the heli, he was all across the map!
I think they've shut the door on these people.
I don't. Oh, that's my ace, bro!
Last player standing. Clutch.
Oh, damn.
I'm going, Daddy.
Another handful down.
Tough battle.
Got him. Beautiful. Here's the stairwell right here. I think she went down it, dude. Oh my fuck! Shit! That fucking got me.
This motherfucker's an idiot. I'm just. Oh. Fuck.
Finish him.
Darkness before dawn.
Did a lot of damage.
You. Oh, fuck off. F off. F off. No one likes you. You're ugly. You're ugly.
See?
Oh my! You just died? No, someone fucking walked into the room that I was in as I was about to walk out the stairs. The fuck?
Glad I
Yelled.
Oh my god. Oh my god! That flick!
That's right. The BCMG stream team doing wonderful things. Tons of great content. Lots of streamers to go choose from. Go to twitch.tv. Check out the newest captain of the BCMG stream team. That's right. Sam Fashion stepping up into that captain role. Very excited to hear that. Congrats to Sam Fashion. Check him out. Or Facebook Gaming. Go check out Mama Bear right now. Mama Bear Gaming is on right now. You can go check her out as she's live. Maybe we'll tune in a little bit. But guys, tonight's all about the pick'em. BCMG guarantee was there, and it might have been a flash on your screen, but that's right, Lana. That's not just a glitch on your screen. That's right. Tonight's episode of Pick'em is brought to us by Glitch Energy, Glitch with a Y. As you can see, they're 25% off. Official partners. The contract has been signed. The ink is a little wet. It is done. Glitch Energy and BCMG goes into 2022 partners holding arm in arm as we go forward together. So very excited for that. Newest event on the docket, Glitch Please, coming this June. More to come later on. Glitch Please. All right, round one and the only round for tonight is our NFL Pick'em. And boy, do we have some picks for you. Let's start things off right, though. We have a late entry into tonight's game. That's right, Dre Rogers, the second place man himself. What's up, Dre? I still catch you on that mute, Dre. I still catch you on the mute. Let me see if I can unmute you. I can't. I got you.
Holy hell, man.
No, that's you, Andrew. Never mind.
I'm ruling that as a mute.
First mute of the week.
First mute of the night.
First mute for Dre. While Dre's figuring that up, Kenny says, why does DeAndre Hopkins hate me? I absolutely agree. Sorry, buddy.
Me too.
Dude, it happened to me with the Hopkins when he was on the Texans. Not even that he was getting hurt or anything. But he just had every week that I didn't play him, he'd go off. And every time I played him, he did nothing. So I'll never draft DeAndre Hopkins again in fantasy.
He's one of those guys. I know a lot of people felt that same way about Joe Mixon, but I was all about Joe Mixon. So.
Once a guy screws me, I'll never draft him again.
Ever. Yeah, that's terrible. Coach Peanut says, stream team is full of amazing people. Absolutely agree. Just had a meeting today. Loved every single bit of that conversation. Very great stuff happening. We have our first question from YouTube up. So before we do our first pick of the week, which is Thursday Night Football, Lamar, Cam, or Ryan Tannehill. Lamar with the injury. So I understand the caution there. Cam Newton with a bit of a resurgence. I get that too. I believe Steve is high on Tennessee, but I'm going to ask you guys, who are you guys going with in this situation?
So I have Lamar in in our league, I don't know what to do with him this week. I don't know if I'm going to play him or not. I don't like Cam because he's interception prone, and right now you don't know if Sam Darnold's going to play instead of him. I guess I'd take Tannehill right now in this situation. I'm not instead of high in Tennessee. I'm not that high in Tennessee. I'm just not high on the Steelers.
Yeah, I do think Tennessee is going to have a lot to handle with on the defensive end this week. I think the Steelers have a bit of a showing at home. I'm going to go ahead and ride Tannehill with this one. I think he puts up something near 250 and 2, maybe an interception or a fumble. I think that's his line, which gets you close to 18 points. If that's something you can do with your roster, then ride Tannehill. But I would probably be hoping for a Lamar bill of health and ride Lamar out for the week. I mean, it's the playoffs, baby. But good luck, QT Nate. What about you, Andrew? How are you feeling on this?
Suspect. I mean, I what we've seen out of Cam is if you're going to get points from fantasy-wise with Cam, it's usually in the first 2 quarters because he gets points and he gets points quick. That second half is what you got to start worrying about because that's when the fumbles and that's when the picks start happening. Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, I got no goddamn idea what's going on with the Titans. I mean, they look like a mess offensively without, A.J. Brown's been banged up. Julio finally came off the IR last week, which was good to see if you're a Titans fan. Lamar's ankle injury, I don't know the severity of it. I know that it was considered a high ankle sprain. If you watch the highlight, it didn't look all that bad to me. I just think because you know how Lamar is, he's probably trying to push off, and I'm sure the extension of his ankle and where he got hit probably pulled some shit. In this one, going with my gut instinct, I'm probably still going to play Lamar just because he's played really, really well with the receivers and of course Mark Andrews is a monster right now, so I'm going with Lamar on this one.
If Lamar plays, play Lamar. If it's a 50-50 even to game time, I'm going Ryan Tannehill myself. We have another late.
I'll go Ryan Tannehill at 50-50.
Yeah, I'm going to bring in another one on this. We're going to move on, but Just Luke joining the stream as well. Just Luke coming in just the nick of time. What's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, what's up? Just on the road.
I was like, what is this background?
I love it. You have 2 guys. It almost looks like it's Steve at home versus Luke and Ernest at home versus Andrew in this type of situation. I'm all about it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And I'm all about Dre it. Wherever he is.
Yeah,
Dre.
Road Warriors, babies, Road Warriors.
We tried to plug Dre back in to get our segment started. Coach Peanut with another wild card question. Who wins this week, Browns or COVID? I don't know.
COVID.
Probably COVID.
Yeah, COVID won.
Probably COVID, but I'm going to say that
the Browns are...
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, the Browns, Coach Peanut, I love you, buddy. The Browns are in a world of trouble. As I was driving here, 18 people within the organization have been confirmed with COVID. And I mean, you just lost your starting quarterback in Baker Mayfield, who showed a ton of heart in that last game. Say what you will about Baker. He's not the best quarterback, but fuck, he's got a ton of heart, and I honestly give him props for playing that last game. He has been beat up, but now that he's got COVID and you're putting Casey Keenum in a must-win game, do we have another Minnesota miracle? Do we have it with Casey Keenum?
I think Casey Keenum.
The Browns are in trouble. Casey Keenum's
actually the better quarterback. Let's move on. All right, so we are going to go to NFL Pick'em. That's right, our primetime picks. Thursday night football. Londo, let's roll it. You know what? It's the right stadium, but the wrong team. That's perfectly fine. That's probably a my bad situation. Chargers versus Chiefs. Chiefs 4-point favorites against those Los Angeles Chargers. All right, let's get things started here, guys. I have one parlay left, so I'm going to be completely biased on this pick. Chiefs with the points. I'm taking Chiefs to win and cover in this game. I think it's going to be a shootout for Thursday night football. Pound the over, taking the Chiefs to win this game and win it and win it by more than 4. Andrew.
Herbert picks on bad defenses, and lately the Chiefs have been rolling on defense. I don't know what's going on or who kicked who into gear, but they look like a really, really good defense. And the Chiefs are at home, man, right? Like the Chiefs are at home. Am I right with saying that?
No, it's in Los Angeles.
I think. It doesn't fucking matter. I think that the Chiefs have found their stride again, and that should scare a lot of people. I mean, Patrick Mahomes looks better. His control ratio seems to be a lot better with the whole pick touchdown thing. Travis Kelce looks like he's getting his confidence back. Tyreek Hill, not as big of a part of the offense as usual in the last couple of weeks, but that means other people like McCole Harbin, Brian Pringle, all those other guys. Josh Gordon even has had a couple receptions. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game and the cover.
Beautiful. Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs to win and cover this. Like Andrew said, Herbert's good against bad defense. It seems like sometimes he struggles against these actually good defenses, and the Chiefs are rolling on defense.
Absolutely.
I think it'll be a shootout, but Chiefs are covering that.
We have a warning early on in primetime pick'em. Luke, how are you feeling?
Well, at the end of the year, I think we're going to say that Melvin Ingram for a 6th-round draft pick might be one of the greatest moves that Kansas City has made during the season.
Big time.
Yep.
But Kansas City, the culture's finally changing. They got it going in the right direction. So Chiefs by 5.
By 5. He takes it right out. That means, you know what, guys? Our first BCMG guarantee. Roll it. Roll it. That is right. Even the drivers should do it, Steve. Means you should too. All right. Our first BCMG guarantee. That's right. Kansas City -4 would make me extremely happy. Guys, we promised you last week. We promised you. We said ITL hits one parlay in December every year. We said, if you put your money on it, we'll hit it. We did it last week. We got you guys that money. We promised you guys. We promised. Hopefully you made bank in you got some change in your pocket listening today. All right, let's move on. That's right. Saturday has some NFL action this week. We get to go to Cleveland, or what we saw, Coveland, for the first game. Do we have a role for this one? I think we do. Going to the dog pound, Browns still 6-point favorites with Case Keenum under center. I guess the travel for Las Vegas is not very favorable in Vegas. So let's roll with this. Let's start off. Nick Chubb and Dearness Johnson are in the backfield for the Browns, as Hunt will not play in this game. And no Baker Mayfield. Those are the early standouts there. 16 other individuals, as mentioned before. The Browns had a COVID deficiency. I'll start this one off with Luke. Luke, this is your division rival, per se, with the Browns, or division clowns, whatever you call them. How do you feel about the Browns against the Raiders?
So I've been monitoring this whole COVID situation with the Browns, and it's kind of fascinating that I never thought that the Browns could out-Brown themselves. But what would be the microcosm of their season would be to beat the Baltimore Ravens handily at home and have their hands on the division title and absolutely now get COVID and absolutely puke on themselves and lose to the Las Vegas Raiders at home. I mean, that would be the most Brown thing ever.
Yeah.
It would be magnificent.
Yeah.
It's tough because what's even worse is they're not giving their playmakers the ball. They're not giving it to Chubb. They're not giving it to Hunt. They're not giving it to Johnson. So I don't really know. I don't know what wins this division. Me and my boys talked about today. 9-8 or 9-7-1 as the Steelers are right now. That wins the division for sure.
Right.
And that's just poop butt. But I honestly think I didn't roll with the Raiders last week because, let's face it, they got their shit kicked in, and I was so happy about it. So I'm going to roll with the Raiders this week.
Vegas Raiders for Luke to start this one out. Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy that I played Hunter Renfrell last week in fantasy because that was a great game. But that was the only bright spot that they had on that team. Without Darren Waller, this team doesn't have an identity. It's sad that one player can make a huge difference like the way he does, but boy, it just frees up that offense so much. Josh Jacobs has been completely overrated. I think Kenyon Drake should probably see more field, and maybe that's just me and maybe what I've seen out of Vegas when he plays. Honestly, this game, I don't see the Browns winning it because of all the COVID shit. They're going to be shorthanded a ton. And listen, I think ultimately, if there's anything to take away from this game, Dearness Johnson, this is your showcase right now, okay? I think Dearness Johnson is something special. I truly do think they have a talent there. And let's not forget, Kareem Hunt's contract is up at the end of this year. So, Dearness Johnson, you know that Kareem Hunt is injured. Now is your time to play for a contract, my friend. Either you stay in Cleveland or some team like, I don't know, let's say, the Raiders, who could use another great back. You never know. You might get the phone call, man.
Yeah, love that take. Love that take. Steve, going to you next.
Yeah, I was going to take the Browns, and then pretty much everyone on the Browns got COVID, so I'm going to take the Raiders.
Steve going with the Raiders. All right, guys, I have the saying, and the saying's going to ring true. You haven't played with the best, you've played with the earnest, and I'm taking the Cleveland Browns to win this game and win it handedly against the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't think the Raiders can keep up. It's a Chubb Dearness Johnson game. It's going to be all about the Browns controlling the clock, and you still have Myles Garrett and that Browns defense to worry about at home with the dog pound. It's a trap game here that for Vegas. Everybody's going to be going with the Raiders. I'm taking Cleveland to win and not cover this game. So I am taking money line Cleveland in this bet, and I do have them in a future parlay. So putting Cleveland on that. And so let's move on. We're going to take our conversation over to Indianapolis against those New England Patriots. The Indianapolis Colts 2.5 point favorites against the New England Patriots. Steve, I already see your expression. Let's just start with you on this one. How do you see this game turning out?
I'm not saying the Colts are a bad team, but there's zero reason for them to be favored over New England right now. There's zero reason at all. New England has the better record. New England is playing better. New England is better. I think it will be a good game. I think Indy's a tough team. New England's going to win by probably a touchdown. The least, they're winning by more than 2.5 points. I think Jonathan Taylor is what you got to worry about, but everyone knows how Belichick will find a way to nullify that and make Carson Wentz throw the ball in situations he's not going to be great at being in. Carson Wentz has been playing better ball, but he's still makes a lot of throws that could easily be turnover plays that the Patriots will capitalize on. And I think that's what this game comes down to, is better coaching and defense.
Yep, I'm going to echo that sentiment. I absolutely have New England winning this game, and I have them winning, not handedly, but in a good old-fashioned game where it's going to be a lot of defense and a lot of strategy. And I think the strategy and defense goes to New England. And in a game where I'm not so much trusting a ton of fantasy points to the whiteouts in this game. I don't see a ton of fantasy points coming out of an early Saturday game. So I'm gonna ride with New England to win this game and pull the upset. I'm riding New England money line. Andrew.
Been humming hard about this game all week. I still haven't saved my picks yet on another league. It's just a hard game to predict because what I have seen from Jonathan Taylor is he is the best running back in the NFL right now. I understand that New England has a great defense and they've played and established really, really well. But let's not forget the stat that Frank Reich is also a Super Bowl winning coach. Just putting it out there. I think he's going to come prepared for the game plan against this New England defense. They've been great all year. New England is leaning for me towards winning this game. I think the Patriots, I don't know how the Colts are favored, to be honest. The Patriots have played really good football. But again, the last time we saw the Patriots, Mac Jones threw 3 passes and the rest was 46 plays. So, and my X factor is that my X factor is that if he can come out of the gate and throw off some pretty great, like let's face it, Mac Jones is a 10-yard guy. He ain't throwing the ball deep. And if he gets some completions early,
you have to stop saying that that stat. People are just making that up.
Tell me how I'm wrong, Steve. Tell me how check down Alex Smith 2.0 is literally. That's what Mac Jones
one
is.
Of the highest rated deep passes in the NFL.
Because he's thrown 7.
Oh my gosh! Oh, this is gonna be a tough one.
So he throws 10-yard, 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 10-yard deep ball. 10-yard, 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 10-yard deep ball. Why do you need to throw the deep ball every fucking play?
No, I'm saying against.
And also, by the way, since everyone likes to hate on throwing the short passes,
I'm not hating on it.
Apparently, this magical system.
It's smart.
This magical system of only throwing short passes that Belichick ever came up with is the reason that Tom Brady has done what he's done and why Mac Jones is doing what he's doing right now. So,
hey, listen, I'm pumped for Mac Jones. Mac Jones, this is, Alabama, we saw him be a little bit more of a gunslinger, right? Like, I mean, that's fair to say. He plays safe. He's a very smart quarterback. He plays within his system. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but against this Indy defense, you got to spread out the field, man.
Yeah,
it's a good D.
But so here's the thing: is that you said that he only threw 3 passes last game. Why do you think that last week's game plan against Buffalo is any sort of indication of what the game plan against Indianapolis in a dome is going to be? There was 46-mile-per-hour winds last week. It's there now.
It was me being a dick, Steve.
The week before, they played the Bills. He played the Titans, the number 1 ranked defense, and won the top ranked defense in the NFL. Threw the ball 30 times, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the game was never in question. And
yeah, for all intents and purposes, I'm telling you, I'm rolling with the Patriots. Like, I'm rolling with the Patriots to win this game. But my biggest question of concern is, how beat up is Damian Harris, and how bad is Stevenson right now? Because Damian Harris is the lifeline of that offense. He really, really is. So I really want to see what happens with the injury report and how he plays. So, 2.5 with the Colts I don't like. I'm going to take the Patriots to win this game.
Absolutely, and that takes us to a BCMG guarantee. That's right, New England money line. Add that to your parlay. That's going to spice it up quite a bit. I know the fingers aren't rolling there too much because there's a little hot and heavy in that answer. Mac Jones, 21st in air yards, 19th in air yards completed. But to Steve's point, you have such a great ground game. Why do you need to be throwing deep so much? Especially in circumstances. I completely understand both sides. Do want to say
I don't think air yards is like an important stat.
That's a good point, right? How important are air yards?
I don't think air yards is really like an important stat at all.
When your running backs are injured, though, it becomes a huge stat because now you got to rely on the pass game, which ranked 21st is not great.
I guess in the playoffs, if you're playing from behind as well, it's gonna come back, and just to see,
it's gonna be tough.
I get it. We have to just have to see.
But so you're only talking about his air yards.
Yeah.
How about his total yards? Because when you only talk about his air yards, you're forgetting about all the yards that they got off the screen pass. That's part of the passing game, right? Oh wait, no, it can't be.
Also,
let's check down. Oh, it doesn't count.
Mac Jones
it's the screen pass. It's right. Screen passes don't count if Patriots players throw them. Patrick Mahomes can throw them though.
Back to the stats though, right? If we're gonna talk total yards, total yards, just check down anything. Mac Jones is still 19th in the league, but again, there's been games where he's been played out of script, so it's not on him.
For sure.
I don't think that's on him.
Absolutely.
That's a coaching decision.
Absolutely.
It's because he's playing as a rookie. I mean,
right. Yeah.
I'm agreeing that Indy's defense is good. We're saying that Mac Jones can't spread the ball around,
absolutely,
and that he can't push the ball down the field. We've seen him do it.
We've seen it with Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers plenty of times to know he can get the ball.
They've got something special with Kendrick Bourne and Mac Jones.
Absolutely agree. Let's move on. Sunday night football, Tampa Bay Bucks, Steve's second team, and the New Orleans. I'm sorry, Steve. I know you hate that. Against the New Orleans Saints. Roll it, Londo. All earlier in the year, this was a game. This was a game that Tom Brady lost in his losing streak, but they opened as 10.5-point favorites without Antonio Brown, without Giovanni Bernard. We'll see a lot of Rojo in this game as a backup running back. Guys, how are we feeling about those Bucks? I'll start this one off. Tom Brady still doing his thing in December. Proved me the hell wrong last week and looked good doing it. Buccaneers rolling at the right time, in my opinion. I'm going to take the Bucks to win this and win this with my favorite saying, handedly. Tampa Bay wins this game by 2 scores over the Saints. Saints, Taysom Hill is your guy. If you're a fantasy player, it's Taysom Hill and nobody else, unless even Kamara, in my opinion, in this game, because Tampa Bay will lock him up. We're gonna roll Bucks at home by 14, in my opinion. Gonna go to you, Steve.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucks. I'm gonna say, even though he's not on my team anymore, watching Tom Brady break the Buffalo Bills again after we did it was just glorious last week.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was a fantastic game, though.
It was a great game. Buffalo fought back hard at the end, but the Bucks are winning this game. And I mean, guys, you think about this. Tom Brady right now is probably, in my opinion, is probably the MVP of the NFL this year. That will mean he will win an MVP in 3 different decades.
It's insane.
That's batshit crazy to an MVP in the NFL in 3 different decades. That's fucking insane.
If it's not Micah Parsons, definitely Tom Brady. Andrew, who are you taking as
for sure? I was just gonna say. I mean, I love Tom Brady. That take actually, Tom Brady's is he good, man. I'm happy that I have him in fantasy in pretty much all my leagues, and Leonard Fournette. So that also helps quite a bit. But nonetheless, the Saints have no identity. They're so lost, man. When Harris got suspended, I mean, I was like, oh shit, there goes another threat for them, a legitimate wide receiver 2 option for them. Jameis Winston being hurt, this team, yeah, it's a catastrophe. I would suspect that they spend some serious money in the offseason making sure that they got a great O-line and even better receiving core. I think Michael Thomas is obviously done as a New Orleans Saint. It's just a full rebuild. The Bucks will win this game. I have them winning by 15. So Bucks cover in this one for me.
Yeah, it looks like we're pretty mutual around.
I mean, I don't think Kevin James is going to be good enough to coach his team to beat Tom Brady.
That movie looks like shit.
Sean Payton in a future Netflix film. Let me just do a quick shout out. Tom Brady, Man in the Arena. If you're not watching it, go watch it. Totally worth your time.
I've watched bits. I haven't watched all of it yet. I mean, most of it's a rehash for me. I'm not going to watch episode 4 and 5.
I bet it brings up some bad memories.
I watched the beginning of episode 4, and that bit about Randy Moss taking a flight to Minnesota and sneaking into the team hotel to find Brady's hotel. His hotel room and tell him that he wanted to play with him is an awesome story.
I absolutely love it. I love how real it is, and I don't want to give spoilers out anymore. Like, go watch it, guys. Tons of cussing, tons of real statements, and totally worth it. But that's a BCMG guarantee. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 10.5 points. Put that on your parlay. Let's do it. All right, guys. We're going to Monday Night Football, where for some reason the Chicago NFL went all in the Chicago Bears pride time, and I have no idea why.
Just don't. They can flex them. They can flex this game now. Understand. They can flex it.
No one's watching the Monday Night Football game.
God.
Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. Bears at home, Soldier Field in December versus those Minnesota Vikings, 3.5-point favorites on the road like they should be. Bears in turmoil. Not sure if Fields is actually going to play in this game. It's another David Montgomery stack. If you have him, you play him for your first-round playoffs. When it comes down to it, you play every Viking you can. because the Bears are not very good. Vikings to win this one and cover and play your fantasy starters. Steve, how do you see this one?
I'm taking the Vikings and says where can we petition for the Bears to stop getting primetime games until they show that they are capable of playing football. Yeah,
football,
just not even
football to begin with.
Yeah, God damn it! Who does Matt Nagy have dirt on, and who do the Bears have dirt on that they keep getting primetime games?
Somebody.
It's somebody good.
Roger did. He's got some Goodell news or something.
The owner of the Bears has pictures of Roger with somebody.
Absolutely.
And Matt Nagy has pictures of the owner of the Bears with somebody. And that's why he still has a job.
Absolutely does. I do think Butthole will be in big smiling fashion this week as they get another win here. Andrew, who are you feeling in this game?
I've been trying to start this Twitter trend, and it seems that it picked up a little bit of steam last week, but hashtag fire Matt Nagy, finally. Let's go. Enough's enough. The Chicago Bears are a fucking dumpster fire. Allen Robinson was a top 10 wide receiver in this league, and now he's a joke. David Montgomery was a joke of a running back last year. Good to see him bounce back this year. Justin Fields, I don't know, man. I don't know. Can't read an offense. So that's not good. The Red Rocket.
But you know what? I don't want to knock Justin Fields because I don't think he's got a coach that's capable of teaching him
that is very true.
How to read the offenses.
Maybe this is.
And that's such a big thing.
Maybe this is one of my...
Especially for a guy coming out of an offense like Ohio State runs. But for guys like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, they don't have real coaches.
Yeah, hear me out. I think this year, or this offseason, I think that Chicago obviously probably loses Matt Nagy, and he's probably done.
You have to.
I would assume it's all but under wrap there. You'd have to. I think your fan base would be fucking puking if he comes back next year. But I really do truly think that the right coach for Justin Fields is Doug Peterson. Now, Doug has been away from the game for a year, right? Most head coaches, if they get fired or let go, stay away from that. But I think he's the perfect coach to fit Justin Fields as a player. If that's who you want to build around, Doug Peterson does have a resume, right? I mean, he's a Super Bowl champ. I mean, I have no problems with them trying to pick him. He's got a high-tempo offense. I mean, he's got guys in the offense who can run that. It would be interesting to see, but I think that's the perfect coach. Nonetheless, when we get back to this game, the Vikings are fucking winning this.
The enemy or Byron Leftwich first.
Oh, I like that hire.
Yeah, I could see that happening, but Vikings will win by 14 this game. The fucking Bears are awful.
Yeah,
awful.
Find that out. So that just means that's another BCMG guarantee. 4 out of 5 of our primetime games on the ticket. Minnesota -3.5. I'm not going to go higher than that. I'm going to leave that stat line there. Guys, we're about to approach fire round pick, and if you're following along, we appreciate you. Let's go right into this. There's only 3 of us. This should not be a long segment here. Let's start off right in there with the AFC South matchup of the week, Jaguars versus Texans. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this one. I have been circling.
Somebody's Q's got to go.
Somebody has to lose in this one. I'll start with you, Andrew. Who you got?
Texans.
Texans to win. Steve.
Texans. Hashtag fire Urban Meyer.
I cannot believe I'm doing this. Texans guarantee on the parlay ticket. Houston.
I'll guarantee the shit out of that.
I did not know we were going to say that on this episode. I'm all about it, though. Let's move on. New York Giants and that shit show goes up against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Your Dallas Cowboys. We're not going to talk here. You know what I do want to do, though?
Micah Parsons, league MVP.
Have to do it. It's not in Dallas, but I just thought you should know who your daddy is, New York. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Dak, this is the game to get your head out of your ass. Here it is.
Right. That is the damn truth. Dallas, money line is the winner on that one. Houston, money line was the last winner. Let's go to another BCMG guarantee. That's right. We're heading to Detroit versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Roll it.
We're going to roll that one. That is a BCMG guarantee. That's correct. Arizona Cardinals money
Although,
line.
interesting tidbit of information. I was just on the drive home. DeAndre Hopkins is shut down for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that is a known
still
fact.
makes no difference.
Still not going to make a fucking difference.
This is, in my opinion, I know a lot of people are picking up AJ Green. This to me feels like a Christian Kirk game.
Rondale Moore, baby.
It could be a Rondale Moore. I do feel it's going to be the second or third option, getting a couple of touchdowns.
He's like, I know a lot of people are picking up AJ Green. Wink, wink, Steve.
That is right. Another BCMG guarantee on the books. Cardinals money line. That takes us over to another fancy game. That's right. Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. And a game where I feel is also going to be a BCMG guarantee. But let's roll it here. I'm rolling Dolphins in this to win handedly. Andrew, who you got?
Man, the Dolphins win this. They've won 6 in a row. Look the fuck out, man. The Dolphins are on fire right now. I'm going to the Dolphins, of course.
Dolphins all the way around. That's a BCMG guarantee. Steve chose the Dolphins as well. That's right. We are all guaranteeing on these money lines.
Well, I don't pick the Jets.
That's very true. The Dolphins.
Also,
go ahead.
I just want to make a quick note. All those people, and I've been on Twitter quite a bit, but all those people that shit on Tua, look at his stats. He's doing some fucking incredible things this year. So, you know what? When the conversation happens with the whole Deshaun Watson thing in the offseason, I think if I'm Miami, I'm staying away from it. I think we got our guy.
Somebody's starting him in fantasy this week. That's this guy right here. It's happening. It's happening. That's right.
Oh, sorry. You guys don't have bye weeks.
Love it.
Look out, Chris Remick. Here I come. All right, we move on to Buffalo, where the Bills are trying.
Look out, Kevin, wherever you are.
Some light. Bills, Panthers in a game that's going to be very much one-sided. I think this is the week Josh Allen takes out his aggression if he plays. If he doesn't, the Bills are in trouble. And I am taking the Bills to win this game. I'm going to go around the room here. Steve.
I almost went with Carolina because part of that, I think, was just me really wanting to see the Bills get the trifecta of losing to Belichick, Brady, and then Cam Newton 3 weeks in a row. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Santa's already been too good to me this year. I don't think he's going to be.
He's giving you some gifts.
I don't think he's going to be that good to me. I don't.
You never know.
Because I haven't been that good this year, but I'm taking the Bills. But my God,
Bills money line has been taken by Steve, but he will be rooting for the Panthers. Andrew,
do or die, Bills. This is it. This is what it comes down to.
It's literally do or die.
This is the season.
It's do or die.
Yeah,
you're looking at an off season. If they lose this game, they have an offseason full of questions and concerns. And here's the thing. I think it's time that Josh Allen realizes that he needs a running back. I think they need to make spend some money on a top 10 free agent running back this year. Devin Singletary ain't going to do it. Zach Moss has been kind of a bust, in all honesty. And he needs a run game, and it's showing bad.
You lose this game, and I bet you Sean McDermott is out the door with Matt Nagy and Urban Meyer after this season.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially with the success they had last year.
Let me quote the great Sandra Bullock. Run the dang ball. Run the dang ball.
Blindside, run the dang ball.
All right, guys. Buffalo is another BCMG guarantee. We're just rolling them in. Let's stack those money lines with some of those spreads we picked earlier. This is where I think it gets interesting. Let's take our talents and our conversation over to the next game, which is Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Tennessee Titans, in a game where I believe we're split on this. So let's start this off with you, Andrew. Who do you have in this game?
What I've seen out of Big Ben, he's got the mobility of a fridge lately. I mean, honest to God, he is tremendously slow in that pocket, and the game has long gone past Ben Roethlisberger, but for some goddamn reason, he battles back in every fourth quarter of this year. I mean, they had a terrible loss looking like it was going to happen to Minnesota, and all of a sudden they put up 21 in the fourth, and I'm like, what the actual fuck? They're going to do this again. And I'm the Titans, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Like, they just came out of the gates hot. Obviously, the Derrick Henry injuries the biggest part of their season. They miss him so much, and just the ability to be able to play action and the stuff that Tannehill is successful at. Shit, man. Honestly, I'm so tossed up in this game because if the Steelers want to make the playoffs, they have to win this game. But the Titans are in the same kind of boat. I'm going with Titans. It's tough. I'm sorry.
Andrew
Titans it is.
rolls Tennessee. Desperation plays key here. If this is Ben's last hurrah, this is a must-win game at home, Heinz Field. If Luke was here, he'd say, I am all about this game. So am I. Pittsburgh to win and upset this game is my pick of the week for my parlay. I'm taking Pittsburgh at home. I'm starting the Pittsburgh Steelers fantasy-wise. I do think Tennessee ends up throwing because they have to come back, and I'm not sold on this Hillard strategy that the Tennessee Titans go with Foreman. That's what he's there for. He's a Texas Longhorn.
He's been great.
Product. That's the guy you go with. I mean, it's hands down.
He hasn't been bad.
It's the best running back you got. Play Deontay Foreman. Until that happens, Pittsburgh all the way. Steve, what do you got?
I'm taking Tennessee. I know Pittsburgh's fought back. I know Tennessee's banged up. We've seen the injuries start to take effect on them, but I mean, it's not like Pittsburgh's an overly talented team right now. Right now, to me, this game comes down to coaching, and I think Mike Vrabel is going to outcoach the shit out of Mike Tomlin.
It's very possible. It is very possible. We will see.
I mean,
we will see what happens in this game.
If Big Ben had more mobility than potting soil, I think I'd have a little bit more confidence in this, but fuck is he bad, man. He needs to retire tomorrow.
Yeah,
if he loses on Sunday, just let anybody else go, man. I
think honestly, I don't see why the Steelers haven't let Haskins play a game. Brought him in.
That's a very good point.
You should see what he's got because Rudolph don't have it.
Well, it's because they're still in playoffs.
You should have already been preparing for life after Big Ben.
It's happening, and it's very, very evident.
Big Ben is here, and the problem is that Big Ben's still here.
I think it's definitely a draft quarterback. I don't think they have the future quarterback on the roster. It's either a draft or they're going to be picking it up. It could be a Bridgewater coming over. Could be something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they're going with it.
A full 5-gallon pail of ice cream moves faster than Ben Roethlisberger.
Are you just going to keep coming up with things that move faster than Ben Roethlisberger?
Time moves faster than Ben Roethlisberger.
Confuses home for Big Ben. All right, let's move on. Eagles versus the football team is another game that we're going to have a conversation about. The Dallas Cowboys showed why the football team had some holes with their team, but they were on a 5-game win streak before that. Eagles may not have Hurts this week, so a lot of question marks on both teams. I'm going to write this one out first because I think I'm in the minority. I am taking the football team to win this game on the road. I think they steal this one from Philly. I think they're going to be the biggest threat to Dallas down the stretch, and this is going to play right into the NFL cue cards of big games next week for Dallas and Washington. So I'm taking the football team to win this one. Andrew?
Yeah, I'm the opposite of you, man. I'm going to go to the Eagles on this one, and the only reason why is because even if they do play Gardner Minshew should be a starting quarterback still. I mean, it's kind of bananas that we're not giving this guy a break. Like, I mean, he went 20 for 25, put up almost 300 yards and 2 tutties, no picks. That's a great game. The football team's defense is so decimated. I think the key X factor in this game is that Eagles get Miles Sanders going frequently because the Cowboys failed to use the run game, but at spurts when they did, Washington couldn't stop it, and they're just so bait up. And no Montez Sweat, no Chase Young. This is an Eagles game.
All right, Andrew going Philly. I think Steve feels the same. Steve, who do you got?
Yeah, I got Philly. I just I've liked Washington this year. I still liked what I saw out of Washington at the end of the game last week, but I just think
Philly, for sure.
Philly at home with the win, a good running game, and I like Gardner Minshew actually. I think it's I don't know. I think he's a better passer than Hurts. I'm not saying he's a better player than Jalen Hurts. I think he's a better pure passer.
Mobility, Jalen Hurts, arm, Minshew.
Yeah, like just pure accuracy in that. I think it's Minshew, and I think he plays a clean game, and yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles at home.
Big shout out to Coach Pina. Appreciate the compliment, bud. And appreciate you watching the whole show, too. That show's hard. I appreciate that.
Big time. Thank you.
Let's move on to the Broncos and Bengals, where the Bengals desperate to really just pound in a win and almost had the comeback last week. And the Broncos hanging around, right? Trying to sniff out that wild card piece. But let's break down the offense. Jerry Jeudy finally coming around to himself a bit right around fantasy playoff time. So those of you who are stacking him or have had him for a while, good luck to you as you try to ride him into the playoffs. As far as Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Mixon's all you need to know. Jamar Chase is all you need to know. T. Higgins is all you need to know. And Joe Burrow. I mean, that offense is full of fantasy starters, and you should be starting any Cincinnati Bengal player you possibly can. This game's a no-brainer for me. Although it's very hard to win at Mile High, I think that the talent differs, and I think that the Cincinnati squeaks one out in Denver. Denver's very hard to beat at home. So spread-wise, they are undefeated against the spread at home. So just take that for what it's worth. Will be a close game, Cincy to win. Andrew.
In my own personal parlay, I'm staying away from this game because I think Patrick Surtain is going to be white on rice when it comes to Jamar Chase, and that's going to be a hell of a matchup. Two rookies and who have both been so good this year. But the one thing that has really concerned me is Joe Burrow's inability. He makes big plays, but he also makes some really dumb throws. And I mean, I've seen some bad passes from Joe Burrow this year. He's a fantasy start, don't get me wrong, because of what he's going to do with that offense. But I really hope in the offseason he cleans up his game a little bit, because some of the passes he throws, I'm just like, ooh, man, like, what are you doing? Especially in crucial times of the game or like a really bad fumble. Like, there's just some questions about Joe Burrow for me, but I think he's a first-round pick talent, man. But I think going to Mile High is it's such a tough game to call because Teddy played really well last week too. Give me the Bengals because they need to win and keep alive in that division.
Another Cincy moneyline pick, Steve.
Yeah, I got Cincy.
Cincy moneyline all the way around. That means we're going to be going to a BCMG guarantee. It's been a minute. We had a couple games.
But I'm staying away from this one.
You're going to stay away from this one, but you're going to put in your guarantee. Your guarantee. I feel like there was an echo on that last one, too. It's like, D. All right. Okay, stop with it. Okay. Just kidding. There's nobody there. Okay, let's move on. San Francisco 49. I missed the crickets. That's hilarious. 49ers versus the Falcons in a game that nobody watches but just sees if Deebo Samuel has gone off for your team. Niners all the way for me. Anybody else?
Niners.
All right, let's make that one easy. Ring the light. Thank you, left hand. And the light has been rung. BCMG guarantee. That is correct. Swing it all the way around. Add it to your parlay. 49ers all the way. Ravens versus Packers in a game that has a lot of COVID implications, a lot of injuries, and who the hell knows is going to be on the field, except for Devontae Freeman. He'll be on the field. Everybody except for Devontae Freeman will be on the field is an unknown. Guys, no brainer for me. I'm taking Packers all the way in this game, no matter who plays, whether it's Lamar or not. Who do you guys have in this game?
Packers
all the way. Mark that another BCMG guarantee. This is becoming easy and very repetitive. I'm sorry for the repetitive content. We're going to continue there. Wave those BCMG guarantees. Packers are the winning. Everybody's waving their finger here in the studio. Let's move on. Rams versus Seahawks. That is right. Rams versus Seahawks is the last game, which I think is going to be a pretty good game for the first 5 minutes of the game. And then we're all
I was just going to say, roll it.
It's going to be the Rams. The Rams all the way. Rams win this one. Celebrate with some eggnog, some hot chocolate. Go cuddle with others. That is it, guys, for our segment. Let's run through those picks because that was a lot in a short amount of time. We have, from our primetime pick'em, we have Kansas City -4, New England upset money line, Tampa Bay -10.5, Minnesota -3.5. As we went through the fire round picks, adding to that massive parlay, Dallas money line, Houston money line, Arizona money line, Miami money line. Just to start off with, the Cincinnati upset money line, which would add value to your parlay, San Francisco, Green Bay, and Los Angeles. A total of 12 picks, which is the max amount of picks you can have on a parlay. So if you put that on there, that's going to be a massive ratio. We'll tell you guys what that is tomorrow.
I'll throw you $5, Ernest.
Andrew's in. Andrew's going to put $5 in. I am too. I am all in on this. I've done it every week. I just started making money last week, but I do it every week. and I'm ahead. I put $5 every week. I'm $600 ahead.
You're very ahead after last week.
I'm feeling good, guys. I really appreciate everybody. I want to wish everybody who celebrates Christmas a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I am still 50-50 on if there will be shows the next 2 weeks, but leading to playoffs, I believe there will be. Don't forget, ITL will be live and in charge at the Dallas-Arizona game. That's right, our first event of 2022. Dallas versus Arizona. ITL will be there. We'll be in sweet seats, so we'll have a very great view of the game. But I will be wearing a fantastic shirt that says, if you want to sign Jordan Lewis jersey, all you got to do is wear the band and take a picture. That's it. That's all you have to do. I'll be walking around the stadium. Come find me. Go spread the word. You have plenty of options, but a signed Jordan Lewis jersey is in your grasp. All you have to do is find me, grab a band, hashtag Better Together for BCMG in 2022. Guys, tons of live events, great stuff. My co-host and co-owner of BCMG is with us, Steve Reisner. Steve, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Reisner_Steven on Twitter, and check me out Sundays on all the Blue Collar Media Group channels, talking some football pregame, getting your picks in.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Also, we have the very talented and popular MMA guy here with us too, Andrew Consutton. Andrew, talk to people where they find you.
First of all, you can find me on Twitter at the Boomtown Pod. Also want to thank everybody that has, because we officially hit 900, which is amazing because at the start of the year, you will remember that I only had about 75 to 100 fucking people, and I was very pumped about that. But you guys have made my holidays amazing. It's been an incredible year for BCMG. We continue to grow. Our stream teams kick ass. Our podcast people, shout out to all y'all, man. It's been amazing. I just want to say Merry Christmas to ITL. I want to say Merry Christmas to the General. And I want to say Merry Christmas to all those that watched. And yes, if you hadn't watched our live video or podcast, I was joined by Clayton Belitsky yesterday from Palace Athena's Women's Fighting Championship, which he announced that we're going to be on pay-per-view. So yours truly will be on pay-per-view come January 15th.
That is such wonderful news. And there might be a possible Dallas event happening here. Coach Peanut, shout out to you. I know you want to have one here. And Andrew, sounds like we might have one in the midst growing too. So keep a lookout for that. Might make it a business trip.
What up, Houston?
Might make it a business trip to Houston. Absolutely. So guys, we have a lot of things brewing at BCMG. Hashtag Better Together is a slogan. We're going to focus on our quality and growth with you, the Lapster community, and everybody else. Dissertation alert. I have hit 50 surveys. I am a 6 of the way there. I need 300. Please share the link if you're following me. Share it out to all your friends and family. Share it out to anybody you know, any basketball athlete. Or if you played basketball, you want to fill it out, please fill it out. I appreciate you. That's the show today, guys. If we don't have one next week, Merry Christmas. If we don't have one the following, Happy New Year. Go Cowboys. We have a lot of big games coming up. Exciting. Good luck to those Patriots, too. I'll do a shout out there. Good night, everybody.
Go Pats.